What's going on, everyone? It's Mike and John back again. Everton 0, West Ham 0 at the is it the West Ham Stadium? I don't know what they call it, but
London Stadium.
London Stadium. Certainly a game of two halves for Everton. I'd probably say the same about West Ham as well, to be fair. John, what was your take?
Well, we were texting through the game. First half, you were of the opinion that Everton were just a bit the better team. But the thing is, that was two poor Premier League teams, in my opinion, there. Two teams, I'd say more so when you look at the West Ham display, especially the first half, you could see, you start to think they're not playing for Lopetegui there. But then Everton did have a little bit much more in the first half than what West Ham did. But as I've said to you on numerous occasions today in that 90 minutes, Michael, with the run of fixtures we've got coming up, we should have took advantage of how poor West Ham were in the first half. And we didn't take advantage of it. And as you quite rightly pointed out, West Ham made 3 substitutions and straight away they're the better team. And I've said on this channel many, many times, and I know, when you make a substitution, how long does it take you to get into the game and warm up? What's the point in bringing Jack Harrison on 87 minutes, who, by the way, is shit anyway? But me and you've got an opinion on Lindstrom, and I said after seeing him, I think it was the pre-season in Tranmere, I said it's going to take a lot more from him to make me like him. You know what I mean? For him to impress me. And then the last couple of days, I've said, well, I wouldn't mind seeing Lindstrom, because we've seen a couple of halves from him, good halves, over Jack Harrison. Mate, Lindstrom's shit. He is shit. But when you look at it, Michael, and I'll go back to what I was saying before, when you've got the run of fixtures coming up that we've got after Brentford, we need to be taking more than 1 point against the team who's playing so poor in the first half like West Ham did. And we didn't. And I'd probably say, when you look at the second half and you look at the first half, a point was probably a fair result. But again, I'll reiterate, with the run of fixtures that we've got coming up, 1 point's not good enough. It's not good enough, because I'm telling you now, mate, we perform like that in any of them games in December, that we won't even pick a point up in that calendar month. Not a point, not one.
Yeah, so I was at half time. I was fairly happy, but I would have made some changes. I thought Lewin looked isolated yet again, but I also looked at an Everton team that, if you had 2 proper strikers, I think Everton would have been winning that game. I think somebody needs to play closer to Lewin or to Becker. Whoever plays up front, someone needs to play closer to him. And the Corbe tried to do it, but he's so flat-footed. And actually, I would also say he's lost a yard of pace as well. He just couldn't get anywhere near him. We had that chance early on, and Somerville makes a sensational block, to be fair to him. He follows us all the way back. It should be 1-0 Everton. It's not, but the only reason it's not is it's a good block. So I'm not going to fault either team for that. But I watched that game. I watched at half-time. I sat here and thought, right, I probably would take Lindstrom off and put Harrison on. Then I must say, I actually thought Lindstrom in the second half, he was actually one of the players that I thought actually did slightly better than the first half.
Well, he tried. He ran. I wouldn't say he was better because of his involvement in the game or his skill. He ran. He tried. Just before you carry on, going back to what you said, I want to ask you the question. You say you'd like to see someone else playing closer to Calvert-Lewin. Why is that? Sound like we're in a court now.
No, it's because I think the way that Lewin is better. I think the way that we keep the ball in the final third better is by having more numbers in the final third. And there was times, as there have been under the Dyche regime for the whole time, where there's not enough people in the box, there's not enough people around the box. There was one moment in the second half, where Calvert-Lewin has got the ball. He's had to do about 5 pieces of skill to keep hold of the ball, to wait and hold it up for about 15 to 20 seconds to pass to someone. It's a disgrace. You have to have someone closer. And for me,
I get why you're saying someone closer, because his hold-up play for me has improved. But if you're on about someone playing closer to him to get flick-ons, then I'm sorry, mate, that's not working.
No, not for the flick-ons. I mean, simple. Keep the ball in the final third. It needs either a second striker or an out-and-out number 10, someone that literally sits properly in between the two midfielders and Lewin, because we had to call that. You did that floating role today, and he did forward and backwards. But his passing isn't good enough. His distribution is not good enough. He's flat-footed. He's not quick enough. We need someone who can actually run beyond Calvert-Lewin. We need someone that could run in the channels in between Calvert-Lewin, so Calvert-Lewin takes the man away, and someone can run through. Now, I think that player is Lineman.
That man's in Dyche.
Yeah, he is. But while he's playing on the left, he's not utilised, and you can't put McNeil on the left because he doesn't appear to be quick enough. Jack Harrison rightly said that the right-hand side for me is Everton's weakest point. It absolutely is Everton's weakest point. But at times today, I sat there and thought, we could get something out of this game if you were brave enough, Dyche. And you rightly say, 85th minute, Jack Harrison comes on, and he takes off, who was it, Takore, I think it was. And I'm sitting there thinking, what's the plan? How are you keeping the ball in the final third in the last 7 minutes? And funny enough, West Ham almost scored twice in those last 7 minutes after they make the 3 substitutions. I think it's absolutely fair to say, and I'll give you Everton's man of the match right now, it was actually Jordan Pickford in the end. It was actually Jordan Pickford in the end, because he had to make 4 decent saves, and the one at the end from Danny Ings, by the way, isn't just a good save, it's an absolute world-class, top-drawer, phenomenal save that's just got Everton 3 points. So anyone that's quick to criticise Pickford for maybe this season, he's just got us a point there, because that's a goal. Most goalkeepers, if that is Fabianski, that's a goal. The facts are, Dyche, yet again, watched another manager make 3 substitutions. He does nothing to counter the way that they're going to change in the setup. Nothing in terms of substitutions until the 77th minute or 74th minute, whenever Lewin come off. It's yet again is Sean Dyche that almost lost Everton that game. And I know there's not many options on the bench. I know there isn't, right? But you could easily have gone 4-3-3 and put the 2 wingers wider. You could have stacked the 2 centre halves just back, with the 2 wing backs playing further back. You could have had Lindstrom maybe go into the middle. It doesn't matter how you set up. The facts are, when them 3 substitutions from West Ham were made, West Ham weren't just the better team. There was only one team that looked like they were going to win it, because Everton at that point only had half chances. They only had half chances.
I think when West Ham make them changes, mate, I think Dyche has already settled on getting a point.
I think Dyche settles for a point.
It's done against Southampton last week. The first whistle set up for a point.
I looked at that today, right, and I was, me and you almost had a difference of opinion in the first half, and I said, look, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with setting up to get a point away from home. I'm all right with getting a point away from home. I am all right with a draw away from home. I'm fine with that.
I'm all right with a draw if we haven't got that run of fixtures coming up.
But the point you're making is I'm fine with a draw away from home, but then I'm not all right with losing to Bournemouth at home, drawing last minute to Fulham, losing away to Southampton can also be thrown in there. So I'm all right with a point against West Ham, a team that is struggling. But a team that spent £150 million in the summer have got some good players. They hit the post. Jordan Pickford makes a good save. I will take a point. But that game, yet again, like the Southampton game, was absolutely there for Everton to win today. The balls into the box were P-rollers. The shots were P-rollers. There was one moment for Injard, lovely skill, gets it to the edge of the box, and he basically passes it to Fabianski. There was Lindstrom, he turns, he literally passes the ball like a P-roller. Literally, I've seen snails move faster than that pass into the box. These are Premier League footballers. There's no fizz, there's no power. It's like they're not doing leg day in the gym. Get these players on the weights in the gym and teach them how to kick a ball with a bit of venom. Because We try to turn everything. There's no one from 25 yards going, do you know what? I'm just going to have a fucking go at you. Bang. No one does that.
I messaged you. There was an opportunity there today when the ball come out to Lindstrom, and the West Ham defence was quite far off him. He must have been about 20 yards out. And he had the goal there. And instead of sort of just hitting it first time, he rolled it into the box and went straight to the West Ham defence.
Yeah.
We're not brave enough. We're not brave enough. Now, when you look at that game as a whole, and we spoke about this at half-time, Everton were just a bit the better team in the first half. You would say that. You would say that.
Yeah, we was.
And then the second half, we had flashes where, as you quite rightly say, we had Lindstrom, and I think Lindstrom had a header as well, and Fabian over the bar. But when you look at it on a whole, Michael, Jordan Pickford made three top draw saves and one world-class save. So you've got to look at it and go, well, straight away, you've given Jordan Pickford man of the match. And what does that tell you? We were lucky to get a point at the end of it. And I'm going back on what I said before, because I did say earlier on the video, I'd say a point was a fair result. But when you look at the perspective and when you look at it in hindsight and how many saves our keepers made to Fabianski, West Ham can count themselves unlucky not to come away with 3 points today. And again, as you quite rightly say, it's down to the manager. And I think a lot of Everton fans now are starting to see it, that this manager is a dinosaur. He's not good enough. He's not proactive enough. His team selections, again, all right, he brought Branthwaite in today. For me, I would have brought Branthwaite in for Tarkowski. I wouldn't have had no problem if Keane started today. For me, Beto's got to be starting over Calvert-Lewin. And I know you're saying he had a couple, he looked isolated, and you said that earlier. And, there was one time where he sort of had to hold the ball up and he had three players and lays it off. But Calvert-Lewin gives you legs, Michael. He gives you a threat. He gives you a threat in the air. He'll muscle players off. He'll chase the defenders down. He'll go and win the ball back. How many times did Calvert-Lewin today really, really rough up one of their defenders where their defender goes, fucking hell, I'm in for the game here? Didn't happen. Calvert-Lewin comes on, and within 5 seconds, just near Sean Dyche, wins a fucking free kick because he's trying to bust the gut to get through, and he gets pulled back.
You've called
Calvert-Lewin, mate. How many fouls did Calvert-Lewin win us today?
No. One. You've called Beto Calvert-Lewin 3 times in that argument there, by the way.
Sorry. Yeah, give me a head fell off. No, but what I'm trying to say is Beto gives you more than Calvert-Lewin, and as I quite rightly said, I'll go back to what I was saying. He gives you a presence in the air, Beto. He'll rough the defence up, and he'll come short for the ball. And if he loses it, he'll go looking for it. Calvert-Lewin doesn't give you that.
I actually even thought at that point, by the way, because of the way that the West Ham team had sort of they'd stepped up, which basically meant any threat of a striker for Everton was just done. It was gone. There was almost no point having a striker on that pitch. Beto didn't really get in the game because he had even less opportunity than Calvert-Lewin.
He's not going to get in the game when he's only getting fucking burst 10 minutes here and there.
My point is, today, it actually was a game where you could have maybe gone with a false nine and actually carried it from the midfield and played through the channel rather than just having a target man. But because Dyche only knows long ball football, he doesn't think like that. He doesn't think like it. When we're getting overrun in midfield, stick another midfielder in, and people will say, look at the bench, Mike, look at the bench. I get it. But you know what? I'd stick on a young Harrison Armstrong or someone like that and just say to him, I just need you to sit in the middle there. You've got Mangala, you've got Garner, who are experienced Premier League players. If the ball comes out to you, your simple job is to go forward. That is it. Go forward. And we've seen players carry the ball well, or even enjoy, get him to go into the middle, and his job is simply turn and go. Dyche doesn't think like that.
The thing is, Dyche doesn't think like that, mate, because he's not proactive. It's a fucking dinosaur, mate. And the sooner he's gone, the sooner this takeover's done. Because I'm telling you now, that team is not a good Premier League team. It's not a good Premier League squad. But what I will say, Michael, is someone who's more proactive, and someone who will not sit on their laurels and pick their favourites and go to teams like fucking Southampton and West Ham hoping to get a point. There's managers out there who will bring more out of this squad of players, where we could go to a West Ham today and make their keeper make more than one save. There's managers out there who will take this squad of players to St Mary's and not get beat by a team who's only won one in the Premier League. Well, none until they played us. There's managers out there.
This is the thing, right? And it's important that we look at this, because you're absolutely spot on, John. We're going into the December. I think we've got Brentford at home, and then I think it's Wolves, and then that is it. Then that is it. I think that is, you run. I think it's Chelsea, Man United, Liverpool. All of the tough ones, right? We've got this run coming up, right? And the teams that we've needed to, beat or to, make sure that they're not picking up points. Well, they have. Wolves have won their first game this week. I think obviously Southampton won their first game last week. Yes, I think Palace have lost today, I think. But Palace have got players in that team that can get results. It's not like Palace are a poor side. So I'm sitting there today thinking, if we don't start picking up points, the teams that have just got started, the teams that have just won a game, are going to go, we've got a chance here. If we can catch Everton are going to get stuck in that bottom three, because we've now turned the corner ourselves. So whereas the Everton confidence, and you see it when we're shooting, is like 20%. Wolves' confidence today will be, I tell you what, we've learned how to win a game today. How bad's that going to be?
See, the problem you have, Michael, if a changes are made before that run of fixtures in December, right, and the takeover's not done, because he's not going to go before the takeover's done. I'll be massively surprised if Sean Dyche goes before Dan Friedkin comes in. So if Dan Friedkin doesn't come into the end of December or the middle of December, we've already lost 2 or 3 games in these hard games, right? Then, as you quite rightly say, teams who are starting to pick up points, the likes of Wolves, Palace will probably get out of it because they've got players to get out of it, and they fight. They've got an identity, Crystal Palace, under John Paul Gaultier, whatever his fucking name is, right? So when you lose so many of these fixtures in December, right, then you've got to start looking for a manager once Dan Friedkin comes in. If this Friedkin takeover is not done till early on in the new year or late December, we're in shit street, because who's going to come to us? A good manager. Who's going to come? I mean, it's going to struggle to get a good manager in the shit show that Everton Football Club is right now anyway. But who's going to go, fuck that, I'm not in a relegation fight? Because people keep saying to me about Mourinho, and I wouldn't mind Mourinho for 2 years. Serial winner. And he'll build building blocks like I've said on here. He's not going to come to Everton if we're fucking third from bottom. There's only one man for the job, fucking Bisto Tits. Because I'm telling you now, people will say to me in the comments, oh, the football shit under Big Sam. I'm telling you something now. Have you seen the football we're playing at the minute? Because I'm going to say it on here right now. I'd rather have Sam Allardyce in charge of this squad than this dinosaur of a manager. I would. And I know they've both won nothing. Sam Allardyce finished 8th with fucking likes of Chen Tosin and Theo Walcott. Look at the players we've got there. And we're making West Ham's keeper make 1 save, and Jordan Pickford's pulling off fucking 4 worldies. Squad's better than that.
Yeah, the only hope we've got is that we have got some, hopefully, better players to come in, and hopefully.
But he won't play them. He won't play them. You've got Brozier there. He's on the grass now. He's going to be on the grass for another 3 months. He'll play 2 games for us and then go back to Chelsea because he won't be Premier League fit. So we've got Brozier to come in. Who else have we got? Who else is to come in?
Committee.
But again, that's another thing. Out the time he's been out with his injury, he's going to be at least 6 to 8 weeks in and around the squad, as Sean Dyche says. He's getting the feel of the ball, like he said the other day. Fucking hell, mate. Feel of the ball. He's a Premier League footballer. Fucking prick. He does my head in.
Right. I think that is it. I haven't got anything else.
No wonder my mental health up the fucking wall, I tell you.
Remember, if your mental health is bad, remember there is lots of charities out there that can support you. I happen to be John, so he rings me on a regular basis crying about Everton, which is fine. The rest of his life is good. So don't panic too much about our
Yeah.
John there.
I'm used to Everton now. It's just the rest of my life that's fucked.
Jesus. Well, hey, listen, it's your birthday soon, John. Eh?
Yeah, if I make it.
The big 6-0, everyone.
Plus -5.
-10. Fucking hell, do the maths, John. Right, guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Yeah, it's obviously been a bit of a off match reaction, and we will see you probably tomorrow, if not Monday, for the debrief where we'll go into it in a little more detail. Keep smiling, up the toffees. Peace.